let's start in the Eternal City.
Oh, yes.
Roma against Juventus. 3-1 up. Juve come back to 4-3. We've got Don Hutchison helping us. Jules, I want to start with you, though, because Juve, as part of their marketing, they have this this thing called Fino alla Fine, until the end.
Yeah.
And they're all known for late comebacks and stuff like that. If you're a cynic, you might say it's usually a penalty and injury time. This wasn't it. This was 3-1 down, staring down the barrel, and they come back, score 3 times in just a few minutes, and win 4-3.
7 minutes, yeah. Pretty remarkable, really, the turnaround when it looked like Roma were in control, and they were 3-1 up. Although they scored 2 goals on set pieces, 1 deflected shot, it was not like if they were playing Juve off the park, but still, they were in command of the game.
They were in control.
Morata comes on, and to be fair to Allegri, that was the right call. I mean, it's a no-brainer. We would have all done the same. It's not just Allegri who had a genius idea.
Landucci. Allegri wasn't there.
Yeah, sorry, but from a coach or a manager, and that worked because Morata gives the cross for Locatelli to make it 3-2, and then after that, you've got a feeling that something is happening.
Yeah, Don, this momentum shift at the end that we saw in those last 20 minutes, is it a credit to Juve, the fact that they just kept going and kept believing and so on? Or was this as much Roma falling apart? And you're going to say it's a bit of both, I'm sure.
Yes, I would say it's a little bit of both, but if you had to push me, I'd say more so Juve's character, because as a coach, Jose Mourinho has been in the game for 30 years, and at 3-2, once it got back to 3-2, he should have smelt that Juve were in the ascendancy and had momentum. 100%. At the same time, you've got to credit the way Juve came back. I mean, the masterstroke, if you like, from Landucci, which I think is an obvious one. I don't know what your feelings on Marcottelli's best position is, Gab. Some people like him as a sort of Pirlo quarterback type of player. I think he's better as a number 8 when he can get forward. He got his goal. Artur came on. That released him and Weston McKennie forward. They took more chances. As Jules said, Morata came on. He was better than Moise Kean. So towards the end of the game, it was all Juve. And the comeback inside 7 minutes was astonishing. But there was even more of a twist when De Ligt got sent off and Juve got a penalty and the Roman-born Pellegrini missed the pen. So it was a game where you sit back afterwards, and even this morning, you're sort of wiping your brow and going, what a game that was.
Yeah, it was a tremendous game. I thought it was a tremendous spectacle. So much incident in it. The De Ligt thing...
It's harsh. It's harsh, right?
You know what?
It's really harsh.
It's what the rules say. The thing about De Ligt is, we've seen this before. He gives away so many handballs.
The first season, remember, he had 4 or 5 penalties against
Exactly.
him. Yeah.
And I think, you see this now. The defenders are trained to just put your hands behind your back. And certainly that one's a bit different because it's dynamic. He's jumping into it. But, Don, I felt if he doesn't turn his back... then more naturally his arms stay in, and he doesn't put himself in that position, right?
Yeah, you're right, Gab. I think it's one of those where it's a sort of natural instinct as a player when you're going to take a shot, and people might argue you should be braver, should take it on the chest, take it in the face, but it's a natural reaction to sort of turn your back if you think the ball's going to strike you in the face. So he turned his back. Then once his hands are in that sort of unnatural position, it didn't really leave the referee anywhere to go. I thought the referee had a really good game. The only one where I questioned, and I said it in commentary, and I understand that I'll be absolutely in the minority and I'll be totally wrong on what I'm saying. It was just the feeling. Does he have to then send him off? I know the laws of the game. Second yellow, he has to go. But it felt as though the way the game was going, it felt as though the penalty was enough punishment. But hey, I'll stand corrected on that one.
No,
the first yellow is a handball as well, isn't it? From De Ligt?
I think you might be right. Yeah.
Who gets sent off for 2?
The man has really large hands.
And big arms.
And he's got big arms. He's a big boy, right? Jose Mourinho afterwards, it sounds worse translated in English than it sounds in Italian, right?
Yeah.
But he did come out and say, essentially, he didn't say his players were weak. He said, my players, he said we were great for 70 minutes. He didn't blame the referee. He said David Massa had a phenomenal game. But he said, I have too many nice guys in my team. Too many players who are good guys, good boys. I need some nasties. Don, this sounds like coach speak to me. I can kind of see what he means. You've been in dressing rooms. Is
that a thing?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, come on.
Like, can a nice guy be professional and determined and have just enough edge?
Yeah.
Does being nice mean that you have to be weak?
And no, I think probably what he's getting at, which might be lost in translation, is they're not streetwise. They have enough They weren't streetwise enough to see the game out. I remember Garb and Jules being at Liverpool when I was a youngster, and Graham Souness was the manager, and Graham Souness was a tough player, tough manager. One of my favourite managers, a real tough guy. And he actually said the same things. He went, "You're weak." He went, "You can't see games through." He went, "You're too nice." He went, "I'm going to bring in people that can do a better job." The next, I'll say window, I say that loosely, there wasn't a window at the time, but the next month he brought in Julien from West Ham, and he brought in Neil Ruddock, two really tough guys. Didn't really improve us because you've still got to have the quality. Both of them are good players, but you've still got to have quality. And I looked at Roma last night, Gab, and it was like, I don't know where he's coming from. I know where he's coming from, but I don't know who he's getting at, because Maitland-Niles landed the night before and was brilliant at right back. He went from a 3 to a 4. I thought Vigna played well at left back. I thought Chris Smalling and Ibanez were good. Maybe he might be leveling something at the midfield, but at the top end of the pitch, Tammy Abraham was good. Mkhitaryan was good. Pellegrini was good. So I think it's one of those classic Jose cases where in 7 minutes he's gone from winning the game 3-1 to 3-4 down, and somehow Jose's thinking, this is not my fault. It's got to be the player's fault.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.